Hey YouTube viewers, Miles on Cars here. Welcome back to the channel. I hope some of you are looking at some of my stuff, and some of the new subscribers I'm getting are getting a little enjoyment out of my content. Anyway, exciting new year for me. I'm pretty excited about this this recent purchase. This is a 2014 Focus ST, and these are pretty common. I mean, a lot of people know about them, so there's nothing new there, but it's a pretty big deal for me. I've always wanted one of these, and I have been driving an 03 Focus 2.3 Duratec car for a while, which I haven't done a video on. I might do a short one on that, but you know, those aren't real exciting. I will say though, it's a pretty amazing car. That one's got 250,000 miles on it. Anyway, I found this on LA Craigslist, and I don't know, I'm trying to think where to start. I've been looking for one of these, like I said, for a long time, and I just was wondering if I was going to be able to afford one, and I came across this one, like I said, on Los Angeles Craigslist, and it was, to my mind, an incredible score. So basically, the long and short of this particular car is that it's got quite high mileage. I was looking around, and you know, some of the lower mileage ones were, you know, 14, 15 grand and that kind of thing, and some of the other ones were in the lower mileage range, and they, you know, they had a salvage title. I didn't want a salvage title, so this car has 171,000 on it. It's actually going to have 172 when I drive back to San Diego tonight. It's going to turn 172. So it's a 172,000 mile car, but it has a clean title, and it was one of the colors I wanted. I wanted silver, red, or blue. I had my red one you'll see in that other video, but that car wasn't an ST. It was just a base SE with the 160 horsepower 2-liter. Of course, these are 252 horsepower, so 90 horsepower is a lot. That's a big difference. So these are all 6-speed manual, as most people know. Can't get them with an automatic. This car has the really pretty tasteful little black stripe along the side of it here, and there's also one on the. There's also a couple stripes on the hood that I'll show you. So, but anyway, what else is on this car? It has a new clutch. You know, these have a dual disc clutch. It has a new fuel pump. The owner had to replace the catalytic converter. The check engine light was on, so he put a new cat on it, and that was $1,800. The clutch job was $3,100. New flywheel, new disc, new pressure plate. I was told you can't resurface the flywheel on these, so you have to get a new flywheel. The flywheel alone is over $500. So the clutch job itself was about $3 grand. Actually more, it's about $3,100. So clutch, cat, fuel pump, couple of TSB recalls, and the owner had spent over $9,000 in receipts on this car for repairs and that kind of thing. And let's just say I actually paid a fair amount less than $9,400 for it. So that was pretty, I'm pretty thrilled about that. So trying to think what else. If you look at my channel at all, you'll see that gold Fairlane that I had a while back. I've sold that car about 10 months ago. Still pretty bummed about it, but I'm, you know, sort of okay with it to an extent. I've got a couple other cars that I need to do some vids on that I haven't had a chance to do, but I'm just kind of decided to jump on the camera and do this one for now. Another car I picked up recently that I haven't done a video on, I'll have to show it to you guys. I found a 65 Falcon 2-door hardtop, and I've had that car now for about 4 or 5 months. I probably should have done a video on that first, but I just haven't done it, and that's kind of one of the nice things about YouTube. You can kind of do whatever you want. There's the stripes on the hood. I think they were probably added. It might have been a dealer added option. I have some information. I have like a little, not the window sticker, but I have one of those little stickers that the dealerships put on, like a little thing that says, you know, added markup, and it said $400 for the custom stripes. So that's I'm pretty cool with that. And one other thing I like about this car, it does not have a sunroof, tin top, no sunroof. And I think, you know, most of us that are really kind of into the, if you're a real driving enthusiast, you'd really actually prefer no sunroof. What else can I show you? I got a bunch of junk in bunch of stuff in the car, but I'll show you inside. It's this is an ST3, so that means it has the leather Recaro seats, and which to some degree I almost kind of wish it was an ST1, which is the standard cloth, but it has the Recaro leather and the fancy center stack and navigation and all that kind of stuff. Although, you know, the nav on our phones is probably quite a bit better than the nav that's in a near 10-year-old car. So there is that. So yeah, I need to show you guys the Falcon. As you know, I'm into the earlier stuff with that Fairlane. I also have, which is kind of at the top of my channel there, the little signature photo, my '69 Mustang, which I haven't done anything on that yet, but I'm going to try to get to that here sometime soon. I've actually been working on fixing a couple little knickknacks on that car, including the repair of the speedometer, which meant having to remove the transmission in order to replace the drive gear on the shaft rather than just the driven gear on the speedo cable. So anyway, 69 fastback. I've had that car for 20 years, and but for a daily driver, it's hard to beat one of these cars. I've only had this for about 3 days. I picked it up basically on New Year's Eve, and that's really about the long and short of it. I'm trying to think what else there is to tell you. This car's 100% stock, and I'm somewhat inclined to probably leave it that way. I'm not really worried about. I do have a good friend with a Fiesta ST, and he has I think it's the Montoon he has on there, not the Cobb Sport tuning. He's got a Montoon chip or a tune and a cold air and a few other, you know, the thing that comes, I think it's a Ford Performance deal he's got on there. And he says he notices that it runs a little bit better, but now that it's been on the car for a while, he kind of, you know, you get to the point where probably you don't notice it as much. So I don't know, a couple other odds and ends on this. It says in the, I looked online for an owner's manual because it didn't come with one, and I was reading a little bit about fuel requirements. It says you should run premium in it. The guy that I bought it from said he always ran 91 in it. I put a tank of 91 in it today, and but it does say in the manual basically it'll run on 87. It just makes a little bit less power. So I mean, you know, give or take 10 horsepower, and I pretty much drive the thing like an old man. So. Because I am old, but so that's an interesting thing to think about. You can run the, you know, the salad oil, crappy gas if you want, or, you know, do 91, or if you're back in the Midwest or the East, back in the East area, back in the East Coast and all that stuff. You guys are all lucky to have 93 octane. Out in California here, we only get 91. So what else? I mean, these cars have been around for a while. They came out in 2013 and they ran them through 2018. So this is a 14, so it's the 13, 14 cars had the original style trim in the front, and the steering wheel was a little different, and then I think from 15 to 18 they changed them around. They all have the same engine, 2-liter EcoBoost, which I was surprised to learn. I think at full boost they're making about 21 pounds of boost on these, which is pretty epic. So one friend of mine told me you have to be careful with the clutch on these, that if you really stand on it, like first or second gear, even with a new clutch, it'll slip. So that's something to think about. I don't know if any of you owners of these out there have noticed that. I haven't had this car long enough to experience that. And also with the brand new clutch, well, relatively new clutch, I think it's only got about 6,000 or 8,000 miles on it. I'm sort of inclined to, you know, not go real crazy on it in first and second gear. These cars are fairly famous for having a fair amount of torque steer, supposedly, from what I've heard, more than the Fiestas. So, in any case, the guy that sold me this car, he picked up a WRX. He paid 30 grand for it from CarMax. I'm like, wow, you know, but a 2020 WRX, which is cool. But I'm more of a Ford guy, so that's why I went out and got one of these. And that's about all I know right now. I'm trying to think what else to talk about. The Recaro seats are pretty firm. I did a little looking around on maybe getting a set of ST1 seats, the cloth, but I'm going to probably not worry a whole lot about that now, and just kind of drive this for a while. And I've got my little 03 and that I'm going to just kind of put away for now. I might do something on that down the road. It's a 2.3 Duratec car. Those were 03, 04 only. Those had a 2.3 liter Duratec from a Mazda 3. But you know, the earlier cars are cool, but they don't have quite the refinement of these. So in any case, that's about all for now. Keep a lookout on videos down the road relatively soon on my 65 Falcon and on my 69 Mustang Fastback. That car's got 351 Windsor. I'm just got the T5 back in it for the speedometer repair, and it has bare brakes on it and TCP coilovers and all kinds of odds and ends. New interior, newish interior. And I've had that car since 2003 when I was a tech editor of Mustang Monthly. I basically built that car on the pages of Mustang Monthly. It's a Highland Green 69 Fastback. Anyway, I don't want to bore you guys any longer. I hope you enjoyed this video and maybe learned a couple knick-knack things. And I appreciate everyone watching. And I guess Happy New Year. You all take care.